Just don't see any mistakes. All right, ready?
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Good morning. I want to talk to all of our students this morning about our testing next week. The Georgia High School graduation test will be given to all of our 11th graders next week. To those students who will be first-time test takers of the graduation test, the results of your test will determine whether you will be eligible to receive a high school diploma. The results will also determine whether Central High School makes AYP, which stands for Adequate Yearly Progress. If a school does not make AYP, penalties are imposed on the school by the state. The penalties become more severe each year that the school does not make AYP until reach the point where all the staff members in the school can be replaced and an agency may be hired by the state to run the school. High schools are graded each year on 3 criteria. The first is participation rate. 95% of our 11th graders must be present to take the Georgia High School graduation test when it is offered to them for the first time in March in order for us to make AYP on that criteria. 100%, every single one of our juniors took the test last spring, so we met the goal for test participation with no problem because our juniors, who are now our seniors, all came to school to take the tests in English and math. For those of you who are juniors this year, if you do not come to school to take the tests when we offer them to you for the first time next week, it will hurt our ability to make AYP. You cannot pass the test if you do not take it. It is very important that all first-time test takers are present every day next week to take the tests. For all students, regardless of grade level, attendance is extremely important for you to pass your classes as well as end-of-course tests, which will count 15% of your graduation test. 15% of our students were absent 15 or more days last year. That is a very high rate of absenteeism. You cannot learn if you are not here, so I encourage every one of you to come to school every day. The second criteria to make AYP is graduation rate. The graduation rate of a high school determines also whether you can make adequate yearly progress. We did not make AYP last year because of our graduation rate. This year, at least 75% of our seniors must earn a high school diploma in order for Central High School to make AYP. So it is very important to Central High School that every senior graduate on time this spring. Seniors, you must pass all your classes to earn the credits you need, and you must pass any parts of the graduation test that you have not yet passed so that you can graduate in May with a diploma. Our graduation coaches and counselors have worked with those seniors who are in danger of not graduating to try to help them understand what they needed to do to make it. Seniors who still need to pass one or more parts of the graduation test, you will have one more chance next week. It is vital that you do your best to pass any of the tests you take next week in order to get your diploma and graduate. For all 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students, it's extremely important that you also pass your classes and earn your credits. When you fail classes and fall behind to have to repeat grades, you risk not being able to graduate in 4 years. When it takes you longer than 4 years to graduate, or when you drop out of school, it also hurts our graduation rate. The third criteria for AYP is AMO, or Annual Measurable Objective. This is the academic requirement. The scores of our 11th grade students when they take the graduation test for the first time are counted toward this criteria. Students must score at least 516 on the math and 200 on the English test in order to count for AYP. In addition to passing the math and English tests, students must score 200 on the science test and 500 on the social studies test in order to pass and receive a diploma. Last spring, the scores of our juniors, who are now our seniors, were high enough to make AYP for the academic objective. As I said previously, it was our graduation rate that prevented our school from making AYP in all areas last year. Because we did not make AYP last year in 2008, Central High School is on a list for the state called the Needs Improvement List. A school must make AYP 2 years in a row to get off the list. So we need to make AYP this year in 2009 and next year in 2010 to get off the Needs Improvement List. Juniors, that is why it is very important to Central High School that every one of you does well on your graduation test next week. Your test scores will determine our AYP status for 2009. Now, we are planning our 3rd annual Cram, Slam, and Jam session for all of our first-time test takers Thursday after school. Juniors, please plan to stay after school on that day. Your teachers will be leading study or cram sessions for English, math, science, and social studies to help you pass the test next week. Between the cram sessions, we have planned slam sessions where you will have a chance to participate in beach volleyball, basketball, and some other fun physical activities. We also plan to have a jam session with a DJ so you can have a dance. We have plenty of drinks and snacks, and we'll serve Papa John's pizza for supper. And everyone who attends will receive a t-shirt to commemorate our 3rd annual Cram, Slam, and Jam. Our past 2 junior classes have told me that they really believe that this Cram, Slam, and Jam session helped them to pass the graduation tests. So juniors, make your plans to remain at school tomorrow on Thursday and arrange for someone to pick you up at school at 11 o'clock in the evening. Come prepared to study and to have fun. Then rest and relax over your 3-day weekend. Students all have Friday off this week. We need every junior to report to school on time Monday through Thursday next week to take the tests. The testing will be held in the old gym and will start at 8:30 a.m. sharp each day. We want you to do your best on these tests so you will be able to obtain your diploma and so that Central High School will make AYP. Thank you.